TJ Hawkinson shares the harsh reality of playing for the Detroit Lions. And you haven't heard these comments yet.
No, I haven't. I heard the part where he said, I didn't think I was I thought I was going to be traded. I didn't know it was going to be here, but I'm happy to be here. Super excited. I only heard the positive comments. I didn't hear anything related to the organization.
To say about being on the Detroit Lions team that has gone 12-42-2 since he's arrived.
Oh, God.
Quote, that's really what we're here to do. Here meaning Minnesota. That's really what we're here to do, is go somewhere and win some games. That's kind of the first time I've been able to say that. And whether you like it or not,
he's right.
Not only is he right, he's disappointed. And he has every right to be. And I may not think he's the player that some of you think he is. 12-42-2 since he's arrived. And in year 2 of Dan Campbell, instead of talking about a 4-3 or 3-4 football team that was making progress, that could build around potentially Hockenson in the future, and that offensive line, and a future quarterback, and J-Mo, and St. Brown, he's traded away because his football team is 1-6.
Right.
They want the draft capital, and they know it's a lost season, and they won't admit it because they said they would have traded him at 6-1.
That's what I was going to bring up, yeah.
The first time Brad Holmes has ever lied publicly.
Right.
That's a lie. You would not have traded him at 6-1. I think, in fantasy world, in his mind, he's probably like, you know what? Honestly, at 6-1 for a second round pick, we probably would have done it too. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. You would be out trying to get a Bradley Chubb. You would be out trying to get a Roquan Smith. You would be out trying to get playmakers to take your team to the next level so you could contend.
Right.
Like the Dolphins have. Like the Ravens have. Like the Vikings have. But no. Apparently at 6-1, you would get rid of TJ Hockenson. Boy, you really sold me on that one. And the reality of playing for the Detroit Lions is they're always in a rebuild, Jeff. They're always in a rebuild. And somehow, some way, this fan base still defends it. Give Dan one more year. He doesn't have enough talent around him yet. I don't care who you are. Dan Campbell, Dan Snyder,
Dan Orlovsky.
Dan Marino, Dan Orlovsky. I don't care who's coaching this team. You have no business starting the season 1-6 with the schedule you had and the roster you had and the offensive firepower you had in the first 3-4 weeks of the year.
And do you think Brad Holmes, that's part of it? I mean, the offense, whether he played well or not, the offense still was able to score points at times.
I think he saw a second-round pick and jumped on it.
Like, hey. And I also think
you would never get a second-round pick in the offseason or midway into next season.
And before you continue, I want to react to that comment saying, his career being 12-44 and what, 1? That's his
12-42-2.
12-42-2.
Since TJ Hockenson joined the Lions. That's the team's record.
I mean, when I look at that, and obviously it's not all TJ's fault, it kind of tells me also that TJ wasn't a game changer, right? He's not a tight end that's going to the tight end position, especially nowadays, it is a luxury. I mean, to a certain extent, and the Lions need more than just TJ Hockenson. So I get it. I get his frustration. I think he's earned the right to be frustrated. But the reality is TJ didn't move the needle, at least in my opinion. I think TJ would move the needle on a team that's ready to compete maybe for a Super Bowl. But for this team currently, there's a lot of needs on the Detroit Lions, more than just TJ Hockenson.
Again, I could agree. They have needs. They have holes. Every team has holes. Seattle's starting 2 rookie tackles, a rookie corner, a rookie running back. No issues. We will always disagree on this, Detroit. And maybe some of you agree with me. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I hold the head coach accountable. When the GM has fixed the salary cap, brought in good enough players that should be playing at a higher level, I look at coaching. My question to you is, do you believe Micah Parsons would be the player he is playing in Detroit? Do you believe, and some of these guys are just ballers, playmakers, maybe they would.
Right.
So maybe the example I need to use is, do you believe Woolley out in Seattle, or even Kenneth Walker, or maybe some of these guys in the later rounds, Nick Benito. Remember Nick Benito?
Yep.
Out of Oklahoma?
Yep.
They traded Bradley Chubb for a first-round pick. Why? Nick Benito has been pretty solid this year. Shocker. Boye Mafe, very low key. 2 sacks out in Seattle. Don't talk about that. Coaching. I hold the coach responsible. And I know a lot of you won't agree with it. And I will respect your opinions. I unfortunately am here to tell you you're wrong.